ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानम् अखिलाधारम् आश्रये भीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽपि अद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त सारं वक्ष्ये यतामतिः. Okay, with that, let us start. Okay. Any questions, clarifications on what we have done up to now, or it's all clear? I thought I was pretty elaborate last time, so that should be clear. Now,
Swamiji, sorry, I just wanted to clarify one thing from the last class.
Yeah.
I think you had mentioned that in order for this instrument to work, one should have a strong personality. Every person who has known the truth is a strong personality. If you are not a strong personality, there is no way you will be able to know the truth. I was just wondering if you would be able to clarify.
yeah. See, by strong personality, I mean someone who has a healthy self-esteem, not necessarily an extrovert or an introvert. That doesn't matter. Okay, a healthy self-esteem. He may be an alpha male, he may be a beta male, it doesn't matter. Most likely he'll be a sigma. Okay. If he's a monk, etc., he's most likely to be a sigma, not an alpha or a beta. Okay. But a healthy self-esteem is necessary.
Swamiji, tell me what's alpha and what's beta?
Huh?
What's alpha, beta?
Don't worry, it's okay, let it be. Yeah. These are all.
I also don't know, Swamiji, what is this alpha male, beta male?
Okay, alpha is those males who always try to take leadership, try to be in charge of a situation, etc. Okay, in a nutshell. Beta are those who follow. Sigma people are people who walk to their own drum beat. They go by their own thing, not necessarily by this leadership or following or something. They do their own things. Yeah. Okay. So, but whatever personality you are, you need to have a healthy self-esteem. Otherwise, Vedanta will not work. Because I am trying to teach you all your everything, and you are telling yourself I am nothing. How does it work? Yeah. That is what happens in many cases. People end up worshipping the Guru, not learning from him. They end up worshipping the teacher, putting him on a pedestal, worshipping him, but not learning from him. Yeah. That's where the biggest problem is. That's how cults are created, So that is unhealthy, that part of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Then he is going further in terms of vyavahara. A wise person's vyavahara now.
So
Yeah.
one
Ask.
question. So last Sunday was Swami Chinmayanandaji's,
Yeah.
and you quoted from him that we should, he said that we should convert Hindus to Hinduism.
Yep.
Can we explain it a little? You had mentioned in the recording I heard, but I thought Hindus to Hinduism. Exactly.
Because most of us are very apologetic when it comes to our religion, our culture, our heritage. This is a result of our colonial upbringing, our maculaized education. We are apologetic when it comes to it.
Is it?
Yeah, we are. Most of us are. Some of us who come to Vedanta, etc., have grown out of it. But others are. A Muslim will not hesitate to tell you that I have to go for namaz. A Christian on a Sunday, you ask him, where are you going? Arey, it's Sunday, I'm going to the church. Hindu, even if he is going to a temple and somebody asks him, where are you going? No, no, idhar thoda kaam hai.
Oh, yeah, you are right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Swami,
I'm not saying that religion should be worn on your sleeve. I'm not saying that. But why are you ashamed of it? Why are you ashamed to declare yourself that I'm a Hindu? Yeah, I'm okay, I'm a Hindu. Fine.
I think I am not ashamed of it, but am I proud of it? I have to
That you have to think.
think.
A healthy pride, okay? Not an unhealthy pride. Yeah. A healthy. Yeah.
Swamiji also, this Hindu politicians and the intellectuals need to be converted more.
Probably. The leftist, leave the leftist alone. Okay? They are brainwashed people. Forget them. Focus on the others. Yeah. When you are saying intellectuals, you are meaning the leftists. You are not meaning all intellectuals.
Well, all those, who are not.
That's what I'm saying. Those people who have got their leftist thinking. So these are socio-political issues. I have told you all, read Sai Deepak or hear him on the YouTube. Hear authors like him on the YouTube. Yeah. I am not going to teach all that, okay? About coloniality and things like that. That is not my subject matter. That is you are supposed to find it on your own and understand it. I'll mention it enough so that you will learn. Similarly, I'll mention certain things in tomorrow's talk. Okay? What
Tomorrow,
are
7 o'clock, no?
Sashi, it's all there on the poster. Please read. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sorry.
read.
Oh.
Swamiji, also one of the things is that I don't know, if people can relate, but when I was a kid, and in Hinduism it is like this, that scriptures and Bhagavad Gita, if you listen, they say it is for old people, who goes to the temple, old people go to temple, who listens to all this, old people listen to all this.
Where did you get these
That's
ideas
another
from?
weird thing.
Where did you get these ideas from?
No, as a kid also, like in my
As a kid, from where did you get the ideas?
everybody, like even my parents or my grandparents, or they will say, like when there used to be
One
something,
second.
and I would say, I want to.
Sunita, you're not thinking enough. Self-awareness. What were the messages you received in childhood that made you think like this? Think about that. And we are giving the same thing to our children. That's why your children probably will never come to a temple. Because the same message has gone to them. Especially all of us who are brought up in convent educated schools. There is a subtle message against this. Against everything
No,
Hindu.
I'm saying, they used to say, I have started at a very early age. I was in my 30s when I started it. That is also, and I used to go. But that's what I'm saying, that I've heard in my friend circle also, that is how they don't encourage. I have always encouraged my kids, but that's not what I'm trying to say is, I was also not encouraged when I said I wanted to go for a class like that. That's what the message was.
You will not be encouraged. Because of the background. Examine your background. Examine the background that we have exposed our children to. Examine the type of education we are exposed to. Examine all this. If people are unmuting themselves to ask something, after that please mute yourself back, okay? Because otherwise there are too many disturbances in the recording. Otherwise I'll have to mute everyone without giving them permission to unmute, and you will have to put things into the chat box. Which many of you are not competent about. Okay. So, if it's about converting Hindus to Hinduism, you examine the background you grew up in. We are not yet free from our colonial thinking. Our education system is still guided by Macaulay's. That's why a graduate from any Indian university, a simple graduate, even if he is a BCom, is not employable except as a clerk. Because the whole education system was to create clerks of the British Empire, Babus. Look at our attitude. We look down on somebody who does not know English well. He may be a brilliant engineer, and I have met some brilliant engineers, but their English is poor because they studied in a regional language. But we look down upon them, though as engineers they are brilliant. Brilliant lawyers, doctors, but because of regional education, language is poor, and we look down upon them. On what basis? Basis of a language? Yeah. So those are the things that we are talking about. Colonial thinking.
Yeah, sir, now I remember. Can I take 2 minutes?
Yeah.
When I was doing my graduation, there was a competition in Sanskrit essays. So I was given the topic Gita Sukita Kartavya. I don't remember full. My father wrote the speech for me. He was both Sanskrit and English, and I memorized it word by word. And at the last minute, that competition got cancelled.
Why did it get cancelled in the last minute?
There was no other participant, I think, except me. Perhaps this is, I am guessing, many years back.
So now you know what it is, that you don't even get number of people coming into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swamiji, you are so right, you know. Actually, I am not convent educated, Swami, so my English is not that fluent. But my grandmother used to take me to temple every evening, and I used to very willingly go, happily go, you know.
True. Now we don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater, okay? That we all of us know English is a help in the international field. At the same time, stop looking down on people who don't know English. Yeah. Because it's a myth to think the whole world speaks English. It's not true. English is not the common language even in Europe.
Yes, that is true.
Karthik, would there be a link language in Europe? One language?
Swami, only for transactional purposes it's
It's English, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, only for transactions. But if you go to French, German, and those people,
Yeah.
for them, you know, they actually have a reverse. I think they look down upon you in a way. It's only English. Yeah.
Yeah. True. Anyway, let's get back to the text. So now what we are dealing is the fact about how does a wise person's vyavahara be. Okay? This is normal life. How is it? That it says. I am too. I am meaning this person that we are under discussion, the Jivan Muktaha, the wise person. Vyattana samaye. Vyattana samaye means in normal times. Here in the translation is when he is not in samadhi. This is the translator's problems coming in. Okay? It is not that the wise person is sitting in samadhi, eyes closed all the time. In fact, for a wise person, what is said is, yatra yatro mano yati tatra tatra samadaya. Wherever the mind goes, the mind is in samadhi. Why? The mind is not away from this knowledge. Therefore, it is always in samadhi. Okay? That's why you are at that level, like one of the great masters I studied from in Rishikesh, Harihara Tirtha. He was asked by somebody, Swamiji, how many hours do you meditate every day? And he said, Beti, why are you putting this disturbance called meditation into my mind? बैठने का है, मैं करने का, ये करने का है. Why are you doing that? His mind is never away from the truth. Yeah. If you are at that level, you don't have to worry. If it is not clear, you are not owned up the knowledge yet, yes, then meditation, etc. is necessary. But now here we are talking about not a student, about the Jivan Muktaha, the wise person. Therefore, Vyathana Samaye, in normal functioning, Mamsa Shonita Mutra Pura Shadi Bhajanena Sharirena. By this body, which is filled up with all sorts of nonsense. Okay? Which is made of flesh, bones, skin, body fluids, all that. Meaning, just like any other body. Yeah. It is not that the wise person's body undergoes a change. If the wise person doesn't have a bath for 2 days, he'll have the same problem like somebody else. Okay. Vyathana samaye. Okay. Mams mutra bhajanena sharirena. Andyam mandyam patutvadi bhajanena indriya gramena. With the sense organs. Andyam not functioning properly. Mandyam partially. Okay, not bad. I just with specs I can correct it. Mandyam. Patutvam, array, I don't need specs, nothing. Eyesight is 6 by 6. Okay, Patutvadi. Indriya gramena. The sense organs. Okay. Ashana pipasa shoka mohadi bhajanena antakarnena. With an antakarna, with the mind, sukshma sharira, which will experience what? Thirst, hunger. He also can get dehydrated. He is roaming around too much in the sun. Yeah. Therefore, with a sense of shoka mohadi, very beautiful point. Grief and delusion. Grief for a wise person, naturally. How? Swamiji, grief is ananda, na? So ananda can go through a grieving experience, na? He visits a student who has lost his wife, young girl, 35-year-old. The guy is also same age, 35-year-old has lost his wife. So what is he going to say? क्या जन्म है, क्या मरण है? Where is birth and where is death? Young man, you are free. Can you say that? I know some idiots may think like that, but you can't say it. The wise person will not say it or think of it also. He will empathize with that person's grief and sorrow and help the person to get out of it. Therefore, shoka moha, moha delusion. You mean to say after jnanam, the wise person doesn't have any delusion? He doesn't have any delusion as far as the Atma and the world is concerned. But can he not mistake a rope for a snake? Or is all knowledge, therefore he has been using rope snake example so many times, he may mistake a snake for a rope. A real snake is lying there, he'll think, ah, rope hai. Ulta bhi ho sakta hai. Which is more dangerous actually. You mistake a rope for a snake, you will move away. You mistake a snake for a rope, you will try to pick it up. That's what I was joking with Priya the other day about. Yeah. So, shoka moha like this will be there. Antakarane, with the mind like that. Purva vasanaya kriyamanani karmani. Because of his previous vasanas, avidya, samskaras, karma, etc., that he has done, desires, ragadvesha, desires, which kriyamanani karmani, bunjamanani. He is going to experience the world. Karma phala will come. Karma phala can come. Like what happened to me 2 Sundays back. Karma phala only I put it up. Because all tests are normal. Abhi kya hai? Swamiji, it must have been heat stroke. I am willing to grant it possibility. But this is a guy who has trekked across deserts, okay? Thar desert trek I have done. That guy having a heat stroke? हो सकता है, but remote chances. I can't rule out a chance, but remote chances. Karma can always be there. That's when Ayurveda, one of the reasons for illness is karma, okay? You're supposed to go through this. My students are supposed to go through some anxiety. क्या करेगा? मैं क्या करूँ? Can't do anything about karma. Prarabdham iha bunjiyatam. Prarabdha you have to go through here. Okay. Bunjamanani. Jnana aviruddha phalani cha. He is going to enjoy all good things of life. Everything that will not keep him from this knowledge. Tell me, for a person who is rooted in this knowledge, what is there that can keep you away from this knowledge? Tell me. कोई है? Don't think from a student standpoint. Think from a Jivan Mukta standpoint. Think from a Sthita Prajna standpoint. You are already rooted in this knowledge. What is going to block that knowledge? Nothing. Nothing in the world is going to block that knowledge. Because the Nishtha is already there. Yeah, he can sometimes forget a verse. Like after Rishikesh, I have not touched that, I have not gone through that book Advaita Siddhi. No, once I went through it. Yeah, Advaita Siddhi. 20 years I have not gone through Advaita Siddhi. Swamiji, what is the second verse saying? देखने दो. Verses थोड़ी वायर करके रखने वाला है. Yeah. But Jnanam, aham brahmasmi iti jnanam will not go away. Once you are rooted in it, nothing is objecting it. Therefore, jnana aviruddha. Arabdha phalani, prarabdha. Prarabdha can never prevent you from knowing the truth. Pashyanapi. Even though he is seeing the whole creation, karma phala, he is going through the whole thing. Pashyanapi meaning he is experiencing the whole thing. Baditatvat, it's already negated as mithya. As a student, he had negated it as mithya. Baditatvat. Paramarthataha na pashyati. He doesn't take it as the absolute reality. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Used in a different sense. He sees, but he does not see it. Meaning, he sees the experience, the world of experience. Exactly like how you see the flat earth. The experience on the flat earth is not contradicted or does not contradict the roundness of the earth in your knowledge. Do you even for a moment think the earth is flat? Every day from waking to sleep, you are experiencing flat earth only, no? But does it change your knowledge that the earth is round? Or the sky is not blue? Or there is no sunset or sunrise? Experience does not contradict knowledge. Knowledge can negate an experience, negate the reality of the experience. The reality of the experience, the earth is flat, is negated by knowledge. Reality of rising sun, setting sun, negated on knowledge. Other way around, it doesn't happen. Therefore, baditatvat na pashyati. He gives an example for this. Yatha indra jalamiti Jnanavan tad indriya jalam pashyanapi paramarthata. Paramartham idam iti na pashyati. Like Indrajalam. Indrajalam is a magic show. Okay. You're seeing the magic show. The girl is being cut into half. You really think the girl is going to be cut into half? You don't know how the trick is done. You are enjoying the trick. But you know it is not real. No? You know it's not real. A kid may take it as real. Nowadays even kids are smart. They won't take it as real. If he's 10-year-old plus, he will not take it as real. Yeah. So same way, Ishvara's Indrajalam is on. Okay. Ishvara's Indrajalam is on. Whole world. The magician is putting on a show. Entertain yourself, have fun. Why? You know it's not real. But समझिए कर्मा फला वो भी magic show ही है. Yeah. Indrajalam going on. Enjoy the show. But समझिए there's a little difference, no? That's why that becomes the example, this becomes what you have to understand. So, samsar ka khel dekh lo. You know, there are some nice ways of putting it in Rishikesh, you know. I like that. Samsar ka khel dekh lo. Yeah. See the game going on. Fun. Play the game. Get into it if you want to. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay. Clear about this, or there are any questions? Because he's saying Vyavahara in the Brahma Sutra, those of you who have heard the Brahma Sutras from me, Chatusutri. In the Adhyasa Bhashya, what is the word that is used for this? Yaad hai kisko? How the wise person and the ignorant function in the similar manner? There is one word which is almost like a sutra in the Adhyasa Bhashya. याद है क्या भूल गया सब? No, Murkhavat Acharya is not mentioned by Shankara there. Something to do with an animal is there. Pashvadibhischa Visheshat. अभी याद है? Like how a Pashu uses logic, etc. You also use logic, etc. Yeah. Adhyasa is common, he says. So similarly for a wise person, the Adhyasa is there, but it is negated. Like how the Adhyasa of the rising sun continues, but is negated. Bhaditatvam. Jnanena bhaditam. Jnanena bhaditam. Experience continues. Experience continues. Okay. That is why he says he is quoting from the Shruti also.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So why does Gita talks about so many good qualities for a jnani then? Nanu Shuchanti Pandita, Samam Shatro cha Mitre cha.
He is describing his natural mind state.
Okay.
That is the natural mind state when you have the knowledge. See, any knowledge, where is the crow coming from? Okay. See, any knowledge changes the way you may think and feel. You thought in one way about someone. You thought he is a useless character, not worth this thing. Then you discovered, no, he is a nice person. That knowledge is a nice person, changes your emotions about things. Similarly, there are certain natural changes that will happen in your mind on gaining this knowledge. Friendliness, compassion, love, all this will become natural. So when the Gita mentions it, it's only for that, from that standpoint, how it's naturally so. He doesn't have to cultivate it. Oh, I should be more loving. Not necessary. He is loving, but the object of love deserves a little tough treatment. Requires some tough love. We'll be that. Yeah. That way. Okay. That's why he says, Sa chakshuhu achakshuhu iva. Even though he has eyes, it's as though he doesn't have eyes. Because eyes are reporting something. You don't take the reality of it. Yeah. Sa akarnaha, karnaha, sakarnaha, akarna iva. With ears, but as though he doesn't have ears. Okay. My hearing is compromised because of other reasons, not my knowledge, okay? Otherwise you'll think, oh, all wise person should thoda kam hona chahiye. Not true. Nothing happens. Yeah. Okay. Ityadi Shrute. That's from the Shruti passages he's talking about. And then he's quoting, see, this is a sampradaya in Vedanta. No traditional teacher will say, this is my own creation. He may say, this is the story I am telling you. Because for a traditional teacher, this knowledge has come from Ishvara himself. He is not an academician to steal somebody else's ideas, which happens a lot in academics. Okay. But he will always say, this is what I gained from the parampara of teachers. Even if he has written an independent book like here, this book is a fantastic book on Vedanta and it's written independently by Sadananda Yogendra. But even he is quoting the parampara to show, hey, this is not mine. Parampara praptam. Though he has created a new book. Great scholarly teachers like Sureshwara himself, Naishkarmya Siddhi, Chitsukhi, Advaita Siddhi, Khandana Khandaka, these are works which very few Vedantins end up studying. Honestly. Scholars study. Scholars meaning academic scholars study and they make a mess of it. Yeah. So when you are studying all this, you always see one thing. I mean, these are phenomenal works, okay? A lifetime of scholarship has gone behind writing these books. They won't claim it as their own. Why? If you look at what they have written, there's very few, so it takes a very discerning reader to be able to know this. You will see the seed of it is there in the Upanishad. Like when I went to Rishikesh, before I had studied these texts, somebody threw an argument from that against me. Because this happens in Rishikesh, debate, discussions, etc. Those days were common. So, and I answered it. And he looked at me. He said, Maharaj ji, आप अद्वैत सिद्धि भी अध्ययन किया क्या? I said, नहीं महाराज, नहीं किया है. करने हैं, नहीं किया है अभी. फिर ये प्रश्न का उत्तर कैसा दिया? I said, मुंडको उपनिषद ये वर्स, ये श्लोका में है उसका. Then he looked at it. महाराज जी बराबर है, आप तो संप्रदायविद हूँ. I said, no, not yet. I still have to become a संप्रदायविद. Why? Because the seed is there. The pramana is there. Remember that. Everything that we do is only a development of that. Seed is right there. Otherwise, how did the rishis have knowledge?
So,
What? Finish. Let me finish what I am saying. Mute yourself. Yeah. And I saw this comment. To be a Sampradayavit means you should have studied all these texts. I started laughing when I read it. That is part of your scholarship if you want to study all the text. A Sampradayavit Guru is one who can work the magic with the words. Use finite words to reveal the infinite truth. That is a Sampradayavit. If you have to study all these texts before you can do that, you mean to say Shankara was not a Sampradayavit because Advaita Siddhi etc. came after him. Vyasa was not a Sampradayavit because Shankara Bhashya came after him, few thousand years after him. The Rishis were not Sampradayavit because Vyasa's Brahma Sutras came few thousand years after him. So what are you talking about? What nonsense is this? He considers himself a Sampradayavit, but he doesn't know. He's an academician. But he is good in Sanskrit. That is why it was said, Shastrajño api, even if you are good in Sanskrit, Tarka, etc., 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 Swatantrena, independently, Brahmanveshanam, inquiry into the Brahman, na kuryat, don't do. Find a guru and learn. And I mean a guru other than Google, okay? Yeah. That's another problem because all these tapes are available. Everyone thinks I listen to the tapes and become a master myself. Start writing my own blog, etc. Nahi hota hai, okay? Yeah. Be conscious of the fact that unless you have studied properly, the pramana you have studied from a guru, it doesn't work. Recordings, etc. are poor substitutes, okay? Yeah. Even a Zoom class is not a great thing. Yeah. It is good to catch up if you have missed something. Like my recordings, etc. I put up, good to catch up. It's good to give some apata jnanam, some general knowledge, nothing more than that. Okay, so now he is quoting the previous writer, Shankara he is quoting. Uktam cha sushuptava jagrati yona pashyati dvayam cha pashyat napi chadvata advayataha tatha cha kurvannapi na nishkriyascha yaha sa atmavit अन्यः न अन्यः इति निश्चयः उपदेशशास्त्री gives an example, deliberately keeps it a little bit this thing to catch your attention. Sushuptavat, in deep sleep you don't see anything, no? Or in dream you see, but do you take it as real? Nah, once you get up you dismiss the whole thing. Similarly, Jagrati yona pashyati. In waking state also he doesn't see it. It's all there. It's all there. Don't take it as real. Jagrati na shate. Dvayam cha pashyannapi na cha advayataha. Dvayam pashyati. He sees duality. But what is the knowledge? Advayam satyam. Dvaita pratiti is not against Advaita jnanam. Dvaita pratiti, seeing duality, experiencing duality, is not against your knowledge of Advaita. A million ornaments, one gold. A million waves, one water. Hey, I'm a sailor, I have sailed the 7 seas. One water. Okay. One water. There's really only one water. Don't believe all the YouTube videos. Atlantic and Pacific Ocean don't mix. There's nonsensical videos you'll see. Yeah. So there's a clear line demarcation. Idiot. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Tatha cha kurvanapi nishkriyascha. Yeah. Kurvanapi, even though he is doing, nishkriyaha, karmani, akarmaya pashyed gitayam. In karma, who sees akarma. He's doing everything. Yeah. There's a small story about it. It's very popular with Vedantins. Okay. Krishna was having fun with all the gopis, and then he told the gopis, "Hey, go make some food. Go across the Yamuna. On the other side, there's a great Mahatma who has come there. He's hungry. Please take some food from him and take his blessings." So, Krishna Vachanam, his wish is their command. So, they all went quickly, made some nice, great eatables, and came to the Yamuna. And the Yamuna is in spate. The bridge is underwater. So, they went back to Krishna. What to do? Go and tell Yamuna. If Krishna is a Nitya Brahmachari, that's one word nobody will use to Krishna, okay? If Krishna has always been a Brahmachari, oh Yamuna, please subside. Go. So they all giggling among themselves, okay? Laughing, because everyone has had their experience with Krishna, they know what Krishna is. Goes and tells Yamuna that, and to their surprise, the river subsides. He says, "Oh my God, what is this happening?" Then they go to the other side, etc. And they offer all the food. And probably this Mahatma has not been eaten for years, for days on end. He is not eaten. He finishes off everything. Okay. A meal enough for 5 people, he finishes off. What? Okay. बहुत मजा आया. Now what do you all want? Your blessings. You will get all that you need, you will get. So they went back. And back again the river is in spate. Abhi kya karega? Went back to the Mahatma. Krishna is on the other side. Na? Aisa hai kya? Go tell Yamuna, if I am always fasting in life, never I have eaten a morsel, oh Yamuna, you subside. We have seen this guy finishing off enough food for 5 people. Abhi kya baat hai ye? But no other option, they go and tell that. And the Yamuna subside and they cross over. Now this is a story that all Kathakars tell. It's called Arthavada. Not to be taken literally. What does it mean? Karmani akarmaya pashet. One who says, I am akarta abhokta in all the karmas that I do. I am the pure consciousness. I don't do, I don't enjoy, I let everything happen. 2 different degrees of reality. One is a functional reality, one is the absolute. I am that absolute reality. Everything else is functional. Doesn't really affect me. Sa atmavid na anyaha. That is a person who knows himself. Sa atmavid na anyaha iti nishchaya. It is definiteness. Shankaraya in Upadesha Sahasri. He says this. Okay. Then he goes further. Okay. Asya jnanat purvam vidyamananam eva ahara viharadin adinam anuvritti vat shudbhava vasanam eva anuvrittir bhavati shubha shubha yaro udasinyo va. Two possibilities. He says, asya ajnanat purvam, before he gained knowledge. Vidyamana mano va ahara viharadina. See, before you gain the knowledge, you are used to a certain life. No? Correct or not? If you are from Chennai, you are a coffee drinker. If you are from Punjab, coffee क्या पीना है? दूध पी लो. If you are from Chennai, without Tair Sadam, you don't feel meal is complete. They don't have Tair Sadam. They have Rajma Chawal. बहुत मजा आता है खाने को राजमा चावल. So like this, there are certain traits Like my guru used to love cricket. I would get bored of it. He used to love it. Jnanat Purvam, all these vasanas you have picked up. Your personality traits you have picked up. Therefore, Shubha Shubha Vasana eva anuvurtir bhavati. You continue after Jnanam also, you will continue with these things. No? Is it that because you gain knowledge, suddenly the coffee lover became a milk drinker? And the milk drinker became a coffee lover? ऐसा होता है क्या? If he is a Guju Mahatma, he will still love his teplas and his kakras. वो थोड़ी चेंज करना है. If he is South Indian, he will still love his idlis. It doesn't change. This is our personality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or he says, Shubha Shubho Udasino va bhavati. Or he becomes indifferent to both of them. He may become indifferent. Why? Kya farak pada hai? Like people ask me, what is your Swamiji, what is your typical meal? Typical meal? You must be having idlis for breakfast, no? Rare. Rare. Why? I'm not going to get idli batter, steam idlis every morning, etc. आधा घंटा का काम थोड़ी करने वाला है ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए. Make oats 2 minutes में हो गया. What is your typical meal? Typical meal is what my maid makes. So she makes sambar and all every day. She makes dal. She's a Maharashtrian. So, and I eat in so many people's houses. They ask me what is typical meal. I don't know what is typical meal. What is typical? What is typical? I don't know. I really don't know. Udasino va bhavati. It doesn't matter. Some people are, some sadhus are like that. क्या खाएगा कुछ भी है, सब चलेगा, मजा आता है. But they may also have favorites also. Some of you love sweets, no? Yeah, I love sweets. And the fact my sugar readings are so low means this present level of sweet eating I can continue. Not more. I don't want to increase it. Yeah. So some things will be there. And it is all from your samskaras, I'm telling you. If you trace back, like for example, I'm just giving myself as an example of the samskaras. Because I was a sailor, I was traveling, I developed a taste for cheese and chocolates. I can live on them. Okay? So traveling abroad is not an issue for me anyway. You have bread and cheese, I can live, no problems. I can have it for morning, for breakfast, lunch and dinner, no issues. Problem nahi hai. Because I spent my time in Rishikesh, years in Rishikesh, my taste in sweets are very rustic. People love sophisticated sweets. I love jalebi, balushahi. These are sweets. I mean, what type of sweet is that? Rustic. Because that's what is there in Rishikesh. Samskara created. All your tastes are samskara created. And those tastes can change. My teacher used to love Karela. And he told us the story of how he loves Karela. How? He has a habit. What he doesn't like, he finishes off first. Then only pleasant things are left behind. In life also there was this habit. Unpleasant, do first. Then you are left with all pleasant things. There is no stress on you. No? Otherwise, unpleasant is hanging on your head. So eating, he would do the same thing. So he went to a place for Bhiksha. He has gone for a series of talks. And morning, evening, they are calling him for Bhiksha. Lunch and dinner. So he went to this lady's house. So she made a whole thing. He saw Karela there. Now Karela he doesn't like, so what did he do? He ate it first. So they came with a second helping, he said, no, 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 no. But you know how people are, they'll still put. In some places is more, some places less, but all places little bit is there in India. Gujarat, etc., ये आग्रह करना becomes very strong. Okay? If you go among the Marwaris, it's worse. How do you know? Because I've eaten in all these places. Okay. So Karela, he finished off because he didn't believe in wasting food. He finished off. So evening he is supposed to go to another house. So the lady calls up this lady. You know, you cook for Swamiji. What does Swamiji like? Oh, he ate everything. He likes everything. But Karela he ate twice. He took a second help. So evening also Karela. Next lunch, morning, next day lunch, ladies talk. Oh, Karela, Karela. So every house he went through for 2 weeks, they were serving him Karela. For other things were there, but Karela was constant. Karela was Nityam. Anusuyate. It comes through in and everything. So either at the end of that 2 weeks, I started liking Karela. So all samskara created, I'm telling you. So your whole personality is samskara created only. And that personality will continue after knowledge is not a problem. If it interferes with dharma, dharma, it is a problem for the others, not problem for him or her. Not a problem. It's problem for the others will be. So you have to be careful of that. For that person, there is no problem. Okay. So these things will continue, he says. As before, they will continue. Yeah. If you love music, is that love for music going to stop because you gain knowledge? Let us say some of my students are good singers. They become wise people. Like my friend Uday for a long time decided not to sing. Why? Yeah. No, take care. So he stopped singing for some time because people are coming only to hear him sing, not to hear him teach. That's it by choice, but your love for singing continues. Because there is jnana aviruddham, not opposed to knowledge. Not opposed to knowledge. Nothing is opposed to knowledge. You think singing becomes satyam or what? For it to be opposed to Atma, it has to be satyam. There is no other satyam. There is only one satyam. Therefore, nothing is opposed to it. So, as your personality takes you do things. Yeah. Because anything like that, the first time you ate something, you did something, you never liked it. Many of us are pizza lovers. You think the first time you ate it, you really enjoyed a pizza? Rubbery, chewy thing. But it is supposed to be modern and sophisticated. This was, again, colonial stupid idea put into. Modern and sophisticated because this comes from there. Na? I ate it. After some time, now you want pizza at least once a week. Right? You cultivate a taste. Or kya? Purely cultivated. Any taste is like this. Any habit is like that. So your personality that is there will continue after knowledge. Some changes may happen, some changes may not happen, like it will happen for anyone. You think you are the same what you were 20 years ago? Some changes have happened. No? Some changes have happened. Yeah. Some eating habits have changed because you realize they are unhealthy. Like I don't think in India anyone uses vanaspati for cooking anymore at home. we all had very healthy oil habits, you know. We will use til, mustard, coconut. These are all healthy oils. Then the American advertising started changing everything to palm oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil. Everyone changed over. Now some sense is coming back, you're changing back. Yeah. Some people continued their old, like the Mallus continued their coconut oil, which is good. Healthy option. Continue. Yeah. Okay. So, all these things, some personality parts will change, some will remain constant. Knowledge has got nothing to do with it. Yeah, one thing is they will make you more loving, compassionate, kind. This is true. But if your job involves a certain amount of ruthlessness, you are a soldier who became a wise person. Your job involves ruthlessness or doesn't it involve ruthlessness? Your job involves killing people. Not dying for your country. It involves killing the other guy for your country. That's war. That's ruthlessness. No Mahatma is a pacifist. Why? Karmani akarmaya pashyet. He says, I don't really do anything. Like Bhishma on the battlefield of Mahabharata. He's a wise person. Nobody realized how his wisdom in Shastric matters until they went and discussed with him when he is lying on the bed of arrows, injured and waiting for his death. On the battlefield, ruthless. One battalion, he would finish off every day. I mean, imagine the ruthlessness involved in that. One battalion of people. We are talking about killing one or two and you feel, oh my God, how can I do that? He finished off a whole battalion. Those days there was 1 lakh people. Okay, take it by modern standard, 10,000 people. 10,000 people in one day. My God. Slaughtered ruthlessly. Why? Warrior. Warrior born and bred. That's my job. Simple as that. Wise person, yes. Karmani akarmaya pashyet. We expect you have to be pacifist. This is a stupid idea that is put. That overemphasis on ahimsa. It has been put into our heads. There were, okay, a lot of people respect him. So, I also respect him in many things. He went about saying ahimsa. Ahimsa will World War II. He is in World War I, the champion of ahimsa conscripted, acted for the British government and conscripted lakhs of soldiers to fight in the British army. Instead of against the British ahimsa. But lakhs of people fought and died in World War I. Why? Why should we take part in World War I? Or why didn't you say ahimsa to the British? Go, throw down your weapons in front of the Germans, fold your hands and say, you're a good person, I welcome you. Why? Mapla rebellion in India, Kerala. In the name of fighting the British, they did what they did in Kashmir before independence in Kerala. So that time he didn't advise ahimsa to the Maplas, to the Muslims. He said Hindus should not retaliate. Ahimsa, ahimsa. Ye kya baat hai? What is this one-sided ahimsa? And we idiots have got that thing so stuck in our heads, na? We think wise person will have to be. Ahimsa is a value for all of us. We will not deliberately hurt or kill. But if you are a soldier, you will. Even a soldier can practice ahimsa. You know what is practice of ahimsa for the soldier? I have said it before. Anyone remembers it here? What is ahimsa for a soldier?
Geneva World Convention.
The Geneva Convention, exactly. Following the Geneva Convention. That's all the ahimsa he can practice. Yeah. So be careful. This overemphasis on all these things is a problem. And if the wise person does not fit your ideas, he is not a wise person. Yeah. Many mamas say, how can he be a Vedanta teacher? He does not do any homas, any this thing, puja. And I tell them, idiot, I am a sannyasi. I am not supposed to do a Vedic ritual. A sannyasi is not supposed to do a Vedic ritual. I am a Paramahamsa sannyasi. I have dropped my danda in the Ganga. Mathadipatis keep the danda, so that some little bit you can do. Swamiji, what will happen if your ashram comes up? I will still not be a Mathadipati. I'll become an acharya in that ashram and the priest will do the puja. Not me. I will teach Vangmayi puja. Puja in the form of words to the Swarupa of Ishvara, not to the form. So understand this. When you are talking about a wise person, all these nuances come in. Okay. So I made a statement. He is free from dharma also. In fact, Vyasa's son Shuka writes a group of verses, Shukashtaka. Okay. It is called Ko Vidhi Ko Nishedaha. Vidhi and Nisheda is the Veda, the highest body, talking about right and wrong. What is to be done, what is not to be done. Dharma. And Shuka writes, if the person is like this, rooted in the truth, thus, that, etc., Ko Vidhi, Ko Nisheda. There is a dharma for him. He is free from that. So 8 verses like that. Is that true? That is true. You mean to say the wise person will always do the adharmic activities? No. He will not do. Dharma becomes ornamental for him. Why? Remember Purva Samskaras? What is your Purva Samskaras as a student? To follow Dharma. So Dharma will continue. You mean to say he will never do an adharmic action? May happen because if he doesn't know. Everyone can stumble when you walk. More than that, nothing will happen in the field of adharma. Some tax laws, he didn't know. His accountant didn't advise him, so he may have made a mistake. That's a mistake. He was fined for that. Okay, fine, you'll pay the fine. Yeah. But otherwise, even though he has freedom from dharma, because Purva Samskara has been dharma, that will continue naturally. When necessary, he knows how to break it. Remember 80-20 rule of mine. Okay. Taduktam Buddha Advaita Sattvasya Iteshta Charanam Yadi Shuna Tattvadarshaiva Ko Veda Ashuchi Bhakshane. Okay, he says Taduktam, it is said. Buddha Advaita Sattvasya. One who has understood the Advaita, the reality of Advaita, Buddha, one who has realized that. Okay. Yatheshta Charanam Yadi, if he goes doing whatever he wants to do. Okay. Right, wrong, this without bothering about anything. Shuna Tattva Darshanashchaiva. Okay. Okay. Asuchi Bhakshane. Between a dog who goes about in the garbage eating things and the wise person, Ko Vedaha, what's the difference? What's the difference? If he is all the time doing adharmic activities, what is the difference between him and an animal, he says, and him and a dog? Idea is that certain dharma will naturally be followed. Because it's natural to be dharma. To be dharmic is natural. Adharma you will do only if there is a pressure of ragadvesha. Now ragadvesha has been mastered. Now, because of samskara, something may happen. This guy is diabetic. This wise person is diabetic. And he's eating sweets. The doctor has told him not to do. Purva samskaras. This has got nothing to do with dharma. It has got something to do with your health. Or let us say, I'll give you another example. The wise person. Okay. My teacher's generation people. Okay. Those who would now be 90 or so. Most of them had a habit of smoking. Why? In their generation, the Marlboro man, etc., was invented. Okay. So many of them had a habit of smoking. So tell me, if a person smokes, will not be able to know the truth. He enjoys a cigarette at the end of the day. Or getting up in the morning and he's sitting on the toilet seat, he enjoys a cigarette. At the end of the day, work is over, dinner is over, he enjoys a cigar. He came from that culture. Does it mean he will not be able to know the truth? Or, let me give you anything more. He comes from a culture where you enjoy a glass of wine with your lunch or dinner. With your dinner, you enjoy a glass of wine. And after that, you take some dessert drink, like Bailey's Irish cream or something like that. This is, you come from a culture like that. You think they will never know the truth? Tell me, is any of these activities adharmic? What's the problem then? Yes, for the smoker, health may be an issue. Health may be an issue. So once you realize that, he'll just drop it. It won't make a difference to him. Like Swami Chinmayanji used to smoke regularly. Even when he was in the Himalayas, he would do that. Then when he came down, he found that was a habit that was disturbing people. So he gave it up. Kya farak pada? Chhod do. You are not conditioned by it. It's just a habit. So he stopped smoking. So, for years people didn't even know that he doesn't smoke. A few of us knew, but he had stopped smoking for years. So there is no smell of cigarettes around him, nothing. Then we were driving from Trichy to Chennai by road. So the host's young son was driving. Swami Chinmayanji was in the front seat, the host was in the back seat with us. The son was driving. So after about 2 hours of driving, the boy said, Swamiji, can I stop at the side for a few minutes? Says, what? You have to go to the bathroom or something? No, Swamiji. Then what? No, just few minutes. Tell me now, why you want to stop? Swamiji, I'll be honest. I'm used to smoking. So now since morning I have not had a cigarette. It's already 11:30, 12. I am finding that, it's disturbing my driving. So Swami Chinmayanji said, that is all the problem. Light one right here and give me also one. Who's sitting next? He is shocked. Oh my God, Swamiji can smoke. His son is thrilled. Swamiji is giving company with a cigarette. Wow. That's why he did it. To put the youngster at ease. But some people here are disturbed. How can Swami Chinmayanji do something like that? Ko vidhi ko nishedaha. For years he had not smoked. Nobody even knew that he was smoking. But he shared. Ko vidhi ko nishedaha. Are you getting the idea? These type of things is not a problem. The problem is if you are consistently doing adharma, then you can say what Upadesh says, what Naishkarma Siddhi Kara Sureshwaracharya is saying, what is the difference between a dog and this guy? Okay, consistent adharma should be there. It's like your street dog, always eating garbage. Yeah, that way. Okay. Then he says another thing for the wise person. Brahmavid tatha muktva sa atmajnaha na itaraha. This is meant for all of us. Okay. Great Mahatma comes. Om Namo Narayana Swamiji. अरे स्वामी जी बोला महाराज क्यों ने बुलाया? Okay. And you call me Maharaj? One level higher. He says similarly, that I know the truth, that idea, Brahmavitvam tatha muktva, you must be free from that conceit of being a Brahmavit. Your name can be Brahmavit, okay, that's not a problem. That's the name your guru has given, that's a blessing. But that conceit, I am the knower of the truth. Some more लोग बैठा है इधर. I am Brahmavid. Sa atmajnaha na itara. He is the person who knows the truth, he says. You can't even, your greatness of knowledge should lie lightly on your shoulders. So, you are Brahmavid. Someone else is within something else. Yeah. A 10-year-old child is far superior to me in handling software. I am ignorant, idiotic in front of him. Can you laugh at that idiocy of yours without feeling less about it? Yeah. So even that, if there is too much of pride of your knowledge and your robes and your this thing, थोड़ा काम बाकी है, थोड़ा निष्ठा अभी बाकी है. You have to work on your nishtha a little bit more. That's what it means. Okay. So these are all guidelines for everyone. So see from where to where he is taking you all in this book. Right from the qualification of a student, right up to what you will be with Brahmajnana. He is painting a picture so nicely. That's what makes this book so beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now he is saying something, which is saying, Tadanim amanitvadi jnana sadhanani adveshtatvadeyaha sadgunascha alankaravad anuvartante. Tadanim, after Atmajnanam. For Atmajnanam, he started studying some Prakarana Granthas, introduction books, the Gita, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, etc. After that, Nishtha came in. So in the Gita studying, he started Amanitvam Adambitvam Ahimsa Kshantirarjavam Acharya Upasanam Shaucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha Indriyarteshu Vairagyam Nanabhishanga Putradara Grihadishu. So like that, whole lot of 20 values are given. So as a student, I seriously cultivated it. Now you go into your Nishtha, do you need Amanitvam, Adambitvam, etc.? Ki farak painde? Nishtha is there. What difference does it make? But he says, Alankaravat, like ornaments. It continues. You won't put on a false front. Why should you? You won't expect everyone to respect you. Why? Ki farak painde? You still respect your teacher, Acharya Upasanam. All that will be there. It will continue. Yeah. All those will continue. Yada sadhanani. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. There is no hatred towards anyone. Whom are you going to hate? There is no one anywhere. There is no one other than you anyway. Vyavahara kale, you will do what is necessary. Just because Bhishma was ruthless doesn't mean that he hated. In fact, he loved the Pandavas. But he was on the other side by duty bound. What a man. So, as Alankara, all these qualities will continue. So, the idea is adharma, etc. is not natural. What is natural will continue. And naturally, all these things will be there. Previously cultivated, now spontaneous. Previously deliberate, now spontaneous. Spontaneously. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can go on and on, but I think this is good enough. Okay. Okay. He is quoting Naishkarma Siddhi also. Naishkarma Siddhi Acharya, Sureshwara Acharya is considered one of the greatest teachers in the tradition. After Shankara, the next name that will come up will be Sureshwara Acharya. He was the pontiff of the Sringeri Matha. Okay, he is appointed as the first head of the Sringeri Matha. Okay. Taduktam utpannam atmavabodhasya adveshatvadaya gunaha ayatnataha bhavanti yasyaha natu sadhana rupinaha. After knowledge. Sanchit, this is your question. The answer to your question in Naishkarma said these words. Okay. Utpanna atma avabodhasya. Once atma avabodha is utpannam, the knowledge of the self is there in you. It has come up in your mind and you are rooted in it. Okay, utpannam. Adveshtatvadeyaha, adveshta sarvabhutanam, maitra karuna evacha. All that. Gunaha, ayatnataha bhavanti. Without any effort. Why do you have to hate anybody? Arey? There is also one manifestation of consciousness, this is another manifestation. But that's a terrorist. Shoot him down. Shoot him down. Adveshta, there is deshta there. Nah, surgery. The kind cruelty of a surgeon's knife. Why? Because he happens to be a army guy, now what to do? His job is like that. So he is continuing in the job. Yeah. What if he is a sadhu and the terrorist comes? It depends on how the terrorist is coming. If he is coming to learn, you will try to make him on the right thing. Yeah. Not otherwise. Otherwise, what do you expect to do? Yeah. Okay. You know, remember one thing. A wise person will not allow his goodness to be exploited unnecessarily. Little bit here and there he'll allow it. Chalo yaar, theek hai. I know sometimes my students come and bluff me things. Theek hai yaar, doesn't matter. I know it's a bluff. Because sometimes I ask questions which I already know the answer. and I see my student is bluffing. I said, okay, they are not yet ready to be able to tell me this. It's okay. They will grow up and they will be able to tell me one day. Now it's okay. Yeah. So, natural. Why? You're compassionate, you're kind. And you help them with it. Naturally it comes. Yeah. Ayatnataha. Once Atma Jnanam is ayatnataha bhavanti. Asya. Natu sadhana rupani. You don't have to cultivate these things. The more you are rooted in the knowledge, love, compassion, etc. is natural. Yeah. Natural. But it's not one-sided. Fight against the Nazis, but here ahimsa. No. There has to be a certain amount of consistency. Yes, Sanchit, you wanted to ask something?
No, nothing, Maharaj. I understood.
Got it, no? Yeah. That's double standards is a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Though it is true, no two students will be treated by the teacher in the same way. Like, I had a student, she is no more now. She is always crib. Swamiji, you give this girl a lot of time, okay? You don't give us that time. I said, that is true. That is true. You know why? No, but we also like to spend time. So spend, no, I have time. Yeah, no, come home for dinner. Then I have to come home. You're making dinner. I speak with your husband and your kids, and I spend some time. Then you will clarify some doubts. So, if I am coming after class at 8 o'clock in the night, this will be over at 11 o'clock in the night, which I am happy to do once in a way. But this girl whom they were talking about, said, Swamiji, I want to talk to you somewhere. Can I talk to you now? I said, okay, I'm walking towards the station. You're also going to the station. Walk and talk. Okay. This is a bit more serious. Are you willing to sit on the steps of this building and talk? Because the hall they will close, but the steps are, I'll sit here and talk. I don't have to go for dinner, this, that, etc. and talk. No. This time is easy to give, isn't it? So am I treating both the students the same? No, I am not. Because there to get time, I have to go through the whole rigmarole. Here, 15 minutes right on the steps. Or let's have a cup of tea together. I've been talking, let's have a cup of tea together and discuss. Okay, fine. Job over fast. Are you getting the idea? By the way, she's a teacher in her own right now, okay? Some of you are also attending her classes. But this lady actually used to crib to me once. You're spending too much of time. I don't know what they thought. Their problem, not mine. But I am giving as an example that two students may not be treated the same. Two people may not be treated the same. Swamiji, you will also give us time. My time is available, take it. You did not take it, that time is available. Yeah. For some time I had a satsang with Karthik's group. We used to start at 9 o'clock in the night and go up to 11 o'clock in the night. Why? Because that's the time it was convenient for everyone. I am okay with that. My time is, I can juggle around and make myself available. That's one of my, part of my thing, na? Life as a teacher. I won't even say job, my life as a teacher. But if you expect everything to be the same for everyone, that doesn't work out. Different people require different things. Some require some compassion, some require some confrontation, some may require tough love, some may require some gentleness. Some may require some validation, some may require some challenging. Yeah, that's all the game of teaching, okay? That goes on. Okay. But these qualities, adveshta, compassion, etc., na sadhana rupani, they are natural to someone who knows the truth. Anyone who knows the truth is natural. Okay. Next class we will complete this text. Now next class will be what? Today is 22nd. Good.
Okay.
I have 1 or 2 classes available for some revision work. So revision work mein thoda maja aayega. So next class I'll tell you what revision work is. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do that. Any questions, clarifications, or shall we call it a day?
Yeah, so I had a question.
Bolo Sachin.
One is a little curiosity. So you had answered one question without reading the book. If you remember what exactly was the question, you told us today only. So this was one, and another one, who has written Tark Sangrah?
Tarka Sangrah is written by whom? Who has got the book ready, available? Anna Bhatta.
Annabhatta.
Anna Bhatta, yeah.
Written by?
You are looking for a book, isn't it?
Yeah, I go and buy it.
Kiran has put it on the group. Go look at
Yeah,
it.
it is there, I saw.
Then what is the curiosity?
No,
When I do the Tarka Sangrah, that time I'll explain everything.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that's it. Okay. Then let's call it a day. I have a couple of classes for revision which I'm very happy with. Next class we'll wrap up the text. So all the questions that you have about this text that is not clarified, please come
Okay.
next Sunday with. Okay, yeah, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.